Hello, Newsmark viewers. How are you doing? I hope you're healthy and well. As the Newsmark team, we continue to share with you the developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. We will soon share with you a very important development regarding the Crimean Peninsula. As I frequently mentioned in recent days, the Crimean Peninsula is one of the most important parts of this war. Every development in the Crimean Peninsula can radically change the course of the war and the front line. Therefore, both the Ukraine and Russia, they attach great importance to the Crimean Peninsula, I forgot. However, the situation has been critical for the Russian army in recent days. Ukrainian authorities are constantly making statements about the Crimean Peninsula and announcing that the peninsula will definitely be liberated. This is the process that requires great dedication, and there is no doubt that the Ukrainian armed forces are showing this dedication. One of the most important stages of the Ukrainian armed forces' selfless struggle is the destruction of the critical Russian targets on the Crimean Peninsula. In recent days, there has been an incident related to this issue. So what are the latest developments? Let's take a look together. Before moving on to our report, I would like to make a small reminder. As Newsmark team, we strive to bring you the latest developments in Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. Let's start if you're ready. Newsmark reports. The torch of freedom lit by the Ukrainian armed forces continues to illuminate the entire region. While the Crimean Peninsula is burning with the love and desire for freedom, the Russian armed forces are taking their share of the fire. Ukrainian troops are exerting great pressure on the Crimean Peninsula. And the Ukrainian sabotage groups, of course, accompany this pressure. And if Russia wants to hold on here, it has to make smarter moves. And it has no other option because the ever-increasing capacity of the Ukrainian armed forces is pushing the Russian military to its limits. The particular Russian air defense, which is already in a difficult situation, becomes even more difficult after each Ukrainian attack. So the important point here is that the Crimean Peninsula is more susceptible to airstrikes, while this availability puts the Ukrainian armed forces in an advantageous position and puts the Russian armed forces in a very disadvantageous position. As it is well known, the crushed bridge connecting the Russian mainland to the Crimean Peninsula is of a great importance, and almost all the shipments to the Russian armed forces are provided through this bridge. Therefore, this makes the bridge more important for both sides. And for the Ukrainian armed forces, the bridge is a highly functional target. But for the Russian armed forces, it's a lifeline that must be protected. Therefore, every development in the region is carefully monitored. In recent days, Ukrainian armed forces have once again mobilized, and the Ukrainian army, the Crimean Peninsula, was once again shaken by the sounds of the explosions. And the defense efforts of the Russian armed forces did not yield any results. The capacity of the Ukrainian armed forces once again caused the Kerch Bridge to be closed to traffic. According to information obtained from the regional sources, the missile batteries of the Ukrainian armed forces have once again turned their barrels towards the Crimean Peninsula in recent days. So everyone held their breath for the firing from the end of the barrels on the Crimean Peninsula. The target was clear. It was to hit the Russian defenses that were trying to thwart the Ukrainian armed forces' ambitions in the region. There was no other option because the Ukrainian armed forces couldn't wait to plant the Ukrainian flag on the flagpoles of their homeland in the Crimean Peninsula. The town of the Dzhankoy was one of the key targets that the Ukrainian armed forces wanted to reach. And according to reports, the Ukrainian armed forces recently targeted a number of Russian armed forces targets in the town of Dzhankoy. So the points targeted during this attack were quite remarkable. The most important targets were the Russian air defense systems. Although the Russian air defense systems was dysfunctional, it could sometimes achieve success. Therefore, targeting these air defense systems was of great importance for the course of the war. In addition, targeting batteries of the air defense systems is not only for military purposes. These points are known to be the soft undurably of the Russian armed forces and the Russian public opinion. So therefore, with the attack against them, the Ukrainian armed forces are also breaking the Russian armed forces' will to fight. So the full text of these statements made by the Ukrainian sources while the attack in question as follows. So we successfully attacked a Russian S-400 anti-aircraft missile systems near Dzhankoy, as well as 2 enemy S-300 aircraft missile systems near Charmonsky and Yapatoria, during which, according to our data. So these air defense batteries of the occupation forces were destroyed, and the enemy must be prepared to lose on every front line. So the statements only confirmed the air defense systems were targeted. However, it was followed by another statement. Apparently, the Ukrainian armed forces had not only targeted air defense systems, a military facility belonging to the Russian armed forces was also targeted by the Ukrainian armed forces during the attack. And the statements made on this issue is as follows. So the Ukrainian armed forces managed to destroy a military facility of the Russian occupation forces in the Zhankoy, and the Crimean Peninsula is Ukraine. And every day that the enemy will understand this more clearly than the day before, they will not be able to escape this fact. So the successes of the Ukrainian armed forces continue to shake the Russian armed forces to the core. And the offensives of the Ukrainian armed forces on the Crimean Peninsula is of a great importance. There is a great panic in the Russian sources about the latest situation on the Crimean Peninsula. Some of you may ask why this war is still going on. And it is, of course, a very legitimate question. However, it should not be forgotten that although the de facto occupation of the Ukrainian army by the Russian army began in 2022, this occupation dates back to 2014. And it will not be easy to end the occupation, and that has been going on since 2014. Likewise, it does. However, the Ukrainian armed forces, with their great effort to date, are clearly showing the whole world that this occupation will end sooner or later. So the possibility of new developments regarding the Crimean Peninsula is quite high, better to say. It is not difficult to predict that the Russian targets on the Crimean Peninsula will be hit again in the coming days. We also think that the Kerch Bridge will be on the agenda again, quite seriously, in the near future. But I want to know, what do you think? Do you think the Ukrainian armed forces will increase their attacks on the Crimean Peninsula? Or do you think these attacks are effective enough? Or how will the destruction of the Russian air defense systems by the Ukrainian army affect the situation on the front line? Do you think the criticisms of the Russian air defense systems is justified? Let me know in the comments, because you know that I read and I care a lot about all of your comments.